Hey everyone, welcome to the Worship House Media video blog. Today we're really excited because we have a special interview guest. Welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you.
We have Jonathan Malm with, make sure I get this right, churchstagedesignIdeas.com and sundaymag.tv. He's a really, you've probably seen some of his guest blogs on Worship House. He's a great contributor to the idea of visual media in the church. And so it's a great fit, we think, with you. So thanks for tuning in. A couple questions we want to, kind of share with our audience kind of about what you do and how you help impact the church as far as media goes. So how did you get involved with basically helping the church figure out media through Church Stage Design Ideas?
I started as a creative arts director at my church down in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I was kind of the jack of all trades, doing everything. And then I started to get to specialize as the church grew a little bit more, but I've had a heart for the whole creative process of Sunday mornings for a while. So that's kind of how I got into it.
That's very cool. Seems like a lot of people have, all of us in this space have background in church work, in ministry, and we kind of end up all doing it all. That's cool to hear, because you kind of have your hand in so many different areas, and then you can kind of figure out what your passion is at that point. And so now you find yourself in Dallas, and you work on these two websites. So what is, tell us a little bit about what Sunday Mag is. That's your latest adventure, I guess you could say. Yeah,
Sunday Mag is an online resource for church creatives. It's really all about the whole creative process of Sunday mornings. So we have contributors from churches around the U.S., even in Canada.
Nice.
Go Canadians.
Jeff McIntosh.
Yeah, go Jeff. And and so and they are talking about all the different aspects of creativity, how to be more effective. It's really more about the why than the how. There's so many great tutorial magazines out there. We really wanted to talk about the philosophy of why we're trying to be creative, what we're trying to accomplish with this whole creative process.
Very cool. If you haven't seen the website, make sure you check it out. One thing I really like is the logo with the blinking. It's like you're about to continue typing. Yeah. So I guess the idea is what would you type here? Like what could you put further in your Sunday? I really like that logo.
It's like you're sitting there at the computer. You wrote down Sunday in Word or your favorite word processor, and now what? Now what am I going to do? And
that's very cool.
It's just kind of that moment of pause.
Nice. So we work with a lot of churches that may be just starting to use media. A lot of people will find Worship House and use a video maybe for the first time. What is some advice you would give a church just starting to use media?
Probably say look for something that really tells the story you're trying to tell on Sunday morning. Don't do it just because that's what other churches are doing. Find one that really emphasizes your point.
So I really like that. So don't just necessarily follow what's, say, the best-selling or the freebie that because it's free. Find what fits your church and the story you're trying to tell. Because I think all churches, are different. You can't just throw up a piece of video because everyone else is. I think that's great advice.
Yeah.
And it may feel weird if all of a sudden you've never used a piece of video and then you have this super bright, colorful one or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, really the idea is not to do what other churches are doing. It's figuring out your context, what you're trying to accomplish. And there's so many great videos out there. If you just spend a day, I used to do that all the time, just searching through all the archives and finding what would work best for whatever I was trying to accomplish, whether that's emotion or a mini movie.
Nice. Do you ever find yourself, or through the website, when people submit, recommending that people make their own media, or recommending they go find something that's already been produced professionally, say like on Worship House?
I'm a big fan of doing both. Figure out exactly what you need. Sometimes it won't be out there, and that's when you got to make your own media. Right. But save some time. I'm a big fan of finding resources that are already out there and repurposing those for you.
Very cool. Say if you had to, I don't know, go on an island and you had to have one piece of technology, or I guess go to a church, I should say, like a new church, and that you had like one piece of technology you couldn't live without, what would it be?
Probably my laptop, my MacBook Air. Okay. I would need Wi-Fi because that's the key.
There you go, right.
We were in Argentina recently, and we were on a bus doing a tour. And I was actually playing this game where I would look for a Wi-Fi signal every time we stopped and just try to get it and connect to it and update my Facebook. And so I need to be wired to or wireless to the internet.
Very cool. A couple last questions here. What?
That's not cool, man. That's really nerdy.
It is. No, I love it.
All right.
What do you hope churches walk away with after reading Sunday Mag?
I really want churches to walk away with the idea that it's not about technology. It's not about videos. It's not about lighting. It's not about pushing the envelope. It's about being effective. And that's what creativity is all about. It's figuring out what I need to do to get this story across, to tell it in a way that someone's never heard it before maybe, and to really get past people's boundaries and just make Sunday morning effective. And that's really the goal. It's not about being like Willow Creek. It's not about being like any church. It's about figuring out what is right in my context.
I really like that. That's awesome. And the last question I wanted to ask is, have you had a favorite topic or article that's been submitted either recently or I guess through the whole time of Sunday Mag that's your favorite? Like what stands out as that was awesome to get?
I just recently got one from Cole Nesmith. I need to get his name right. I just met him at Echo.
That's probably fine.
But no, he was talking
Cole,
about, yeah, sorry Cole. But he was talking about the idea that, a pastor, so in our culture we have a pastor who's kind of the CEO or the client, if you will. And he's just talking to pastors saying, let your artists be artists. Let them figure out the right kind of colors and typefaces. They're the ones who are passionate about that. You be passionate about the spiritual implications, the vision of your church. But let artists be artists. And I think that's kind of a...
That's great advice.
It's I think that's great advice, even in the corporate world. Let artists be artists and let them do what they're best at. And, don't get so nitpicky about the little things. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching, and check out Jonathan's two websites, churchstagedesignIdeas.com and sundaymag.tv. Hope it's a resource for you as you kind of continue to learn and better enhance the visuals of your church. So thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right. So who's your best friend, and like what's your favorite color, and like how do you like Dallas, and like what's your favorite place to live, and like where have you lived?